Hi, I'm Teresa Collins. I'm so excited to show you the Teresa Collins Stamp Maker. It's really changed the way crafting is. You can make your own stamps, embossing dies, and stencils from the comfort of your own home in 5 minutes or less. Now, I'm actually not in a home. I'm in a studio today, but I really wanted to go step by step to show you how I actually make a stamp myself. This way you can see it from start to finish all in one step, and I'm not even using a kitchen sink. So, first thing is if you have a stamp maker, everything that you need will be in your kit to be able to do this. One of the things that I want to preface is when you get your Teresa Collins Stamp Maker, you will get exclusive negatives just for you to use. And I always say use those first because you'll know they'll be dark enough. One of the things is when you make your own negatives, make sure that it's very jet black because the ink needs to be very dark so that you make a proper stamp. But we're going to start by making a stamp right away because I can talk to you while we're making the stamp. So the first thing you're going to do is in your kit, you will get photopolymer. This is where the magic happens. This is what makes your stamp. Now, it's in a black container because we cannot let any light in here. So I take it out, and in your kit, you have a magnetic clamp. It opens like this. There's one side that's completely flat, and there's another side that has an indentation right here, like a little a pocket, you could say. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your polymer, and what I do is I put it right down in the middle of my clamp. And I always make sure that it's soft side up. There's two sides to your polymer, and the image pack will be along the bottom, and then you're going to take your negative. And for me, I'm going to use this A+ right here, and I'm going to put it downside right on top of my polymer. And I always just want to make sure that I get it as even as I can. I put the next piece of the clamp right on top. And what you're going to notice is I press down. I want to make sure that the polymer is all in the lines, and you can kind of see it, that you should be able to see the pink and that it's even. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it directly into the Teresa Collins Stamp Maker for 3 minutes. And so it's vital that you have a timer that will tell you when 3 minutes is over, because if you don't do that, it's an exact science, and some people try to play with the time and it doesn't work. So we always suggest do the 3 minutes. Sometimes I get really busy in the kitchen and doing other things, but I know that I have to keep an eye on the timer so that I take it out right at 3 minutes. So I want to show you a couple of the things that you can do with your stamp maker. One of the things that I love is I love quotes. I love to be able to use quotes, not only in my home decor, but in my stamping. And with the Teresa Collins Stamp Maker, you can make your own quotes. And the detail that you can create with your stamps is amazing. And I think that's what shocks a lot of people when they email me and ask me about the machine. When they see the detail that you can get with your homemade stamp, it's priceless. Another thing that I do, and I think is really important, is that customize logos for your business or events. They can run you $40 and up, but you can make those yourself with the Stamp Maker. I do a scrapbooking event every year in Vegas, and it's called Inspiration Unlimited, and this is the logo for my event. I made this like 2 days ago in my kitchen, really simple, and then I loved it so much I actually stamped it and put it in a frame because I thought that was just a really neat way to display the logo. Another thing is just a couple of days ago I was at the gym, and the owner, the trainer, Aaron, was telling me how he wanted to be able to stamp some of his equipment with his logo, and I looked at him and I said, "Oh, I can make you a stamp," and he looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, "You can make me a stamp with my logo?" I said, "Absolutely." And so again, here's a stamp already made it for him, gave it to him the next day, that says Pure Workout. And so I think that's what's so great about it, is not only can you use the negatives that we're going to give you, but you can create your own. When you get your kit, you're going to get art film. Now this is an example. I cut out one of the negatives here. You'll get 8.5 by 11 blank film so that you can take it and with your printer, print it out, and you can put anything you want on this. Every month, Teresa Collins and Photocentric, we give you a free 8.5 by 11 negative sheet that you can just take your art film and print it out from the comforts of your home and make all the stamps. This was the one for August 2011. And so just a little example of what we'll do and provide so that you don't have to worry about customizing it yourself. So again, you always want to check on the time. Oh, we're down to 24 seconds. And so I always want to watch that because it's really important. I always take my jewelry off when I'm making the stamps. But just so you know, this is non-toxic. It will not hurt you, what we're going to do. But I'm just going to show you when it beeps, I'm going to take out the clamp with the machine and we're going to clean our stamp. This was a 3-minute process. I'm going to clean it and we're going to put it in for another 2-minute process. And then that's it. That's how simple. Turn that off. We'll slide this out, take the clamp off. I'm taking my negative off. This is pure magic. I just created a stamp. I don't know if you can see it. It says, well, I think A+, sorry about that. So then you'll take your scissors and I go around all 4 edges of the polymer. Now, the reason why you want to make sure and go around the edges, you do not want to cut into the image of your stamp. A little messy here, but again, completely safe. And you will peel back. There's one side that will actually peel back, okay? So this is where you'll get in your kit, there will be a brush. And you're gonna take just regular dishwashing detergent. It doesn't have to be anything special. And this is where I always say I give it a good scrub. So I'm just cleaning out my stamp. And this is the fun part because you sit there and you go, this is crazy that you can do this from home. And again, practice makes perfect. I know that when I've made mistakes. A couple times I've made my stamps and I just wasn't thinking, you know, I was in a hurry. But when I really, you know, take the time to watch what I'm doing and go by the instructions, it's really simple. I think I've messed up maybe 2 stamps total. So, and I've made a lot of stamps. And like I said, it's perfect. So what I've done here, I've cleaned it. And this is pretty good enough. And so in your kit, you will have a plastic tray. Now what I've done here is there's water in here and I just put the stamp that's been cleaned in and we're gonna put it back in the machine for 2 minutes. And this is basically hardening your stamp, okay? So 2 minutes. And this is not as vital. Now, I'll have to be honest, if I took it out right at 2 minutes, sometimes your stamp is still a little pink, and I kind of wanted to show that. This stamp here, if you can see this is still kind of pink in color. But if I kept it in a little bit longer than 2 minutes during the hardening process, it will turn more white. And so if your stamp is pink, great. If it's white, it's fine. So this is not as critical in the time as the first 3 minutes. So really, I didn't get that messy, and I'm just wiping off. You can, again, you're probably using this at your home sink, so you could just move that aside. And in 2 minutes, I'm gonna clean it off. I'm gonna show you how to then make it into the actual stamp. So this is really a great process. Some of the things that the Stamp Maker is great for is, you know, to customize and truly personalize things. One of the things that I have here is that I created a stamp that it says handmade by, and it says Teresa Collins. My hand signature right there. They can do that. And I want to show you what it looks like stamped. Is that not incredible? You can see that I'll be honest, it looks like I wrote that myself, that I didn't just stamp that. And so I think that's a really cool thing. So, so a couple suggestions. Let's see. We have 34 seconds. So just one of the suggestions that I have is just make sure that when you're making your stamp that you're negative. It's really important to make sure that when you're printing your own negatives from the comfort of your home, that you make sure that it's jet black. If you have any questions, customer service is around all the time, Monday through Friday, to help you. The ink, the printer that I use, it's an HP. I got it at Walmart for $29. Sometimes the cheapest printers are the best because they throw out a lot of black, and that will make a great stamp. So we're looking at, oh, here we go. Take your timer off. And again, I could have let it stay in a little bit longer. I'm gonna take it out, and can you see? Here's your stamp. It says A+, and then I have a towel ready, and I'm just gonna dry it off so that we can actually stamp it right now. So live, I haven't cut this at all. We are gonna show you how in 5-minute process, but a little bit longer with cleaning and all that good stuff. So you're gonna take it, and then this is where I will just take my scissors, and I will sometimes just go around and get a little closer to the image so that I don't have to worry about the edges from the stamp. So here I have, cut those around. So we have the A+. Now also in your kit, you're gonna get some clean sheet. And what this is you can adhere this sheet to the acrylic block that comes in your kit. It's nice. So this way you don't have to put anything on the back of your stamp. You're gonna put this on your stamper, and this does come in your kit. You're gonna put your stamp right in the center of it so it clings on there. So you have this all ready for you to do. And then you're gonna take your ink. I'm gonna use some ink here to show you how to take this. And then I just very carefully, I'm gonna put it on top of the stamp. And I always like to do a little extra just to make sure that it worked. And then I have some paper here, and then I'm gonna stamp upside down so you can kind of see. So you're gonna take it, and anytime I stamp, I always like to make sure that I put pressure right in the middle, so I make sure that the whole stamp stamped. I lift it up, and we just use the A+. Isn't that cool? I think this is the coolest thing ever. And so I'm really excited to show you this. I hope that you'll take the time. There's lots more videos that you can see of going exactly through the same process so that you can make your own stamps from the comfort of your own home.